Snow falls softly in a quiet Massachusetts suburb. A police officer lies dying in a front yard, just feet from the home of his fellow officers. By morning, the woman who loved him will be branded a killer. By nightfall, whispers of a cover-up will spread across the nation. This is not just a murder case. This is the case of Karen Reed. John J. O'Keefe III was not just a cop. He was a caretaker. A 16-year veteran of the Boston Police Department, O'Keefe was respected, disciplined, and deeply devoted to family. After tragedy took his sister and brother-in-law, John stepped in, becoming the legal guardian to their children. Friends described him as selfless, dependable, the man who always showed up. In 2020, during the isolation of the pandemic, John rekindled a past relationship with Karen A. Reed, a successful financial analyst and part-time professor. But behind closed doors, the relationship was volatile. Texts, arguments, breakups, reconciliations. Love mixed with resentment. Affection tangled with alcohol. And on one frigid January night, that tension would reach a breaking point. January 28, 2022. Bars glow against falling snow. John and Karen move from C.F. McCarthy's to the Waterfall Bar and Grill, drinking alongside friends, many of them law enforcement. Among them is Brian Albert. Just after midnight, plans shift. The party moves again to Albert's home at 34 Fairview Road. Karen drives John there in her black Lexus SUV. Phone data shows his navigation app closing at 12:24 a.m. Then, nothing. Karen says she waits. Minutes pass. No text, no call. She grows angry, then frantic. Between 12:33 and 1:18 a.m., she calls John again and again. Voicemails pile up, some pleading, some furious. She eventually drives home, alone. Outside, the snow keeps falling. At 4:30 a.m., Karen wakes in panic. John never came home. She calls friends. One of them is Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert's sister-in-law. They search in the dark. At 6 a.m., near a flagpole in Albert's yard, they find John, unconscious, covered in snow. He is rushed to the hospital, pronounced dead at 7:59 a.m. The cause? Blunt head trauma and hypothermia. Investigators immediately focus on Karen. Broken taillight fragments appear in the snow. A shattered cocktail glass lies nearby. Karen's blood alcohol level, tested hours later, is still over the legal limit. Prosecutors claim she drunkenly reversed into John, leaving him to freeze. But inconsistencies begin to surface. Blood is collected in red Solo cups, stored in grocery bags. No body cameras. No secured scene. And then, something darker. The lead investigator, Michael Proctor, is exposed sending vulgar, hateful messages about Karen, mocking her, wishing her dead. Unbeknownst to the jury at first, Proctor has personal ties to the Albert family. Trust in the investigation begins to fracture. The defense team, led by Alan Jackson and David Yannetti, drops a bombshell. They argue John never died in the yard. They claim he entered the house. Inside, a fight, a beating, possibly involving Brian Albert or his nephew. Scratches on John's arm resemble dog bites. The family's German Shepherd is quietly rehomed. Then comes the most chilling detail. A phone search allegedly made at 2:27 a.m. How long to die in cold? hours before the body is found. Prosecutors call it a glitch. The defense calls it proof. 2 trials gripped the nation. Expert reconstructionists, hired by the FBI, testify that John's injuries are inconsistent with a vehicle strike. Michael Proctor is removed from duty, then fired. The jury deliberates. On June 18, 2025, the verdict comes down. Karen Reed is acquitted of murder, acquitted of manslaughter, acquitted of leaving the scene. Only one charge sticks: drunk driving. Justice or mystery remains. Karen Reed walks free, but not vindicated. John O'Keefe's family still grieves. Questions remain unanswered. Did a woman in rage commit a tragic accident? Or did loyalty, power, and silence bury the truth beneath the snow? In Canton, Massachusetts, the yard at 34 Fairview Road looks ordinary again. But some believe the ground still holds secrets, and some cases never truly close.